No one can deny the mystery of Area 51, the military base buried deep in the Nevada desert, where every story about UFOs, extraterrestrial beings, and technologies far beyond human comprehension is born. It's a place where reality and science fiction theories converge, creating secrets the world has yet to decode. Since its establishment in 1955, Area 51 has not only been a military outpost, but has become the epicenter of a multitude of conspiracy theories. Yet for over 6 decades, from blurry photographs to the accounts of witnesses, Area 51 has sparked endless speculation about unidentified flying objects, UFOs. Extraterrestrial encounters and technologies that seem to exist only in science fiction films. But why has this place managed to generate such intense curiosity? Could what's hidden here surpass our wildest imaginations? Are we truly alone in this vast, limitless universe? And if the theories about UFOs and aliens are real, are we ready to face an unprecedented shift in the course of human history? These questions push the narrative of Area 51 beyond mere confidential information or conspiracy theories. This is where we begin our journey, not just to explore the world, but to venture into the infinite cosmos with all the unknowns it holds. From the early days of the 1950s, when space became the playground of the world's superpowers, Area 51 was chosen to be the foundation for the most classified intelligence projects. Here, spy planes like the U-2 and SR-71 with their timeless design soared into the high skies, slipping past every radar, like ghosts vanishing into the darkness. These planes weren't just military tools, they were symbols of technological progress, born from the minds of visionaries far ahead of their time. Every time a U-2 took off, it was as if the world was witnessing a breakthrough in science, while the secrets buried beneath the sands of the Nevada desert remained hidden in the shadows. Strategically located in the vast desert, Area 51 was shielded from the curiosity of the public and the watchful eyes of the outside world. It seems as though the very isolation of this place, the gap between scientific progress and the walls of security, has created an enigmatic space that we'll never truly grasp. This mystery, carefully guarded for decades, continues to beckon us, challenging our understanding of what's possible and what's concealed from our knowledge. The boundary between truth and fiction here is blurry, blurring the lines between the extraordinary and the unknown. At Area 51, security is not an afterthought. It's the very foundation of its existence. It's no coincidence that this place is shrouded in a dense safety net, swallowing anyone who dares approach into a maze of cutting-edge technology. The airspace above this territory is a no-fly zone, an absolute forbidden zone where even the slightest disturbance is detected. Military aircraft patrol continuously, with the capability to sense even the faintest movement, an imperceptible glimmer of light sliding through the vastness of space. Unmanned aerial vehicles equipped with undetectable surveillance technology are ever present, tracking every trace, no matter how minute. This security system doesn't just rely on traditional methods. The most advanced technologies, from stealth aircraft to electronic warfare systems, are researched and developed right here. Stealth technologies don't merely make an aircraft disappear from radar. They erase every trace of its existence from the very fabric of space, as if it had never been there at all. Who can fathom that every time Area 51 opens a secret door, it's not just a leap forward in military technology, but a milestone in the journey to uncover technologies that could change the world? This is not just a place of experimentation. It's where history is being quietly rewritten, where every breakthrough has the potential to shift the very fabric of reality as we know it. However, the mysteries surrounding Area 51 go far beyond just advanced military projects. In 1947, a crash in Roswell, New Mexico, ignited an unprecedented wave of conspiracy theories. Unidentified flying objects, UFOs, were suspected to be the cause of the incident. And from there, a cascade of questions about aliens and human contact with extraterrestrial forces began to unfold. Area 51, initially a site dedicated to protecting the secrets of military projects, was soon believed to be the very center of research into technologies from beyond Earth. For decades, witnesses with ambiguous testimonies have claimed to have seen strange flying objects and even extraterrestrial beings at Area 51. Among the most prominent names is Bob Lazar, a controversial figure who claims to have worked at Area 51 and participated in projects related to UFOs and alien technology. According to Lazar, it is here that humans have encountered artifacts and technologies that we are simply unable to comprehend. Could it be that Area 51 hides a secret far greater than humanity's own creativity? Or is it merely the product of fantastical stories that we cannot prove? Since Area 51's name first appeared on the conspiracy map, it has become an inseparable part of pop culture. Sci-fi films, UFO books, and a plethora of TV shows have elevated Area 51 to legendary status. No longer just a military base, it has become a symbol of the unknown, a place where unexplained events and discoveries beyond human understanding take shape. In July 2019, a social media campaign sent shockwaves through the global community when millions of people signed up to participate in a plan to storm Area 51, the infamous military base steeped in UFO and extraterrestrial conspiracy theory. Born from a humorous post on Facebook, the campaign, titled "Storm Area 51, They Can't Stop All of Us," quickly gained massive attention, with many of its participants dubbing themselves stormers. What began as an internet joke rapidly transformed into a worldwide event. The essence of this campaign wasn't a real military attack, but rather a provocative invitation for the U.S. government to reveal the secrets hidden for over half a century. But the bigger question remains unanswered. Were these people truly seeking the truth? Or were they simply looking for an adventure in a game they didn't fully understand? And could it be that the U.S. government has spun such an alluring mystery around Area 51 that the whole world is left questioning everything about it? While most participants in the storming event thought they were partaking in a fun, entertainment-driven movement, a small minority believed that within Area 51 lay terrifying secrets capable of changing the course of human history. Is this the last time we will see such a campaign, or does it signal that the curiosity surrounding Area 51 will never be extinguished? Perhaps the truth about UFOs, extraterrestrials, and alien technologies will always remain an elusive enigma, only to exist in mythical stories, sci-fi theories, and failed attempts to break into its secrets. As the date for the storm neared, curiosity spread beyond the participants to the world at large. The security forces, equipped with stringent measures, prepared to prevent anyone from breaching this forbidden zone. And yet, even though the storm didn't unfold as expected, the event raised an extremely important question. If, one day, a group of individuals did manage to break into Area 51, could they uncover the secrets the U.S. government has fiercely protected? Or would that very protection only make these secrets even more frightening and incomprehensible? Behind this event lies a mystery so profound it cannot be explained. A story that might be true, or perhaps it's simply a product of imagination. It's a story that might be true, or perhaps it's simply a product of imagination. But one thing is certain, Area 51 will never be a regular place. And what lies behind its enigmatic veil may be something the entire world could never have predicted. For decades, Area 51 has become the symbol of mystery, a place where conspiracy theories about UFOs, extraterrestrials, and technologies far beyond human comprehension continue to grow and evolve. One thing is undeniable: the secrets hidden here remain a blazing fire, never to be extinguished. While countless stories have been told and numerous hypotheses proposed, it is the very ambiguity of Area 51 that has made it an ever-living legend. Unanswered questions, ghostly technologies beyond our reach, and whispered tales of extraterrestrial beings continue to beckon humanity's curiosity. Stealth technologies, supersonic aircraft, advanced electronic warfare systems. All of these are only pieces of a much larger puzzle that we have yet to touch. And if they do, could they have left traces within Area 51 that we are still too limited to detect? But until then, Area 51 will remain a land of enigma, a machine of curiosity, a flame that will never die in our quest to explore the universe. In addition to studying the technology, there are stories of direct contact between extraterrestrial beings and the U.S. government. One of the most sensational tales is that of J-Rod, an extraterrestrial who survived the UFO crash near Kingman. According to reports from people who worked at Area 51, such as Bill Uhouse, J-Rod was an intelligent being capable of communicating with humans. J-Rod worked directly with military engineers and scientists, providing advice on technology and science, helping advance our understanding of materials and technologies that were previously unimaginable. Area 51 is not only a place that stores UFOs, but also a location where extraterrestrial beings may have assisted us in advancing technology. These stories, though not fully verified, continue to spark curiosity and raise significant questions about the existence of civilizations beyond Earth. Did extraterrestrial technologies really get studied and applied in military fields? And could we, the people living on Earth, be part of a silent yet powerful communication between alien civilizations and the U.S. government? As we delve deeper into the secrets of Area 51, one of the most prominent figures in this story is J-Rod, an extraterrestrial who survived the UFO crash near Kingman, Arizona. Surely we cannot help but ask ourselves, did J-Rod really exist, and if so, what role did this being play in humanity's development over the decades? These questions are not easy to answer, but with the evidence and testimonies from witnesses, the truth about J-Rod begins to unfold. Reports say that after the UFO crash near Kingman in 1953, U.S. military officials discovered an extraterrestrial being who survived the crash. This being, named J-Rod, was one of the members of the extraterrestrial group that accompanied the UFO. J-Rod was not like the typical aliens we often see in science fiction films. With a form quite similar to humans, J-Rod lacked peculiar features like a large head or glowing eyes. In fact, this being closely resembled an ordinary person with only large eyes and slightly different skin. Bill Uhouse, a former Navy pilot who later worked at Area 51, was one of the first people to have direct contact with J-Rod. Uhouse, in later interviews, shared his encounters with J-Rod. He described J-Rod as an exceptionally intelligent being capable of communicating with humans very naturally. When I first met J-Rod, I couldn't believe my eyes, Uhouse shared. We had conversations about science, technology, and even theories about the universe I had never heard before. J-Rod didn't speak awkwardly. He was very intelligent and calm. Dan Bache, a microbiologist who also worked at Area 51, is another witness who recalls taking care of J-Rod. According to Beish, he was tasked with ensuring J-Rod's health in a special underground chamber at Area 51. While J-Rod did not have serious health problems, Beish was still responsible for monitoring his nutrition and care. J-Rod was just like any normal person in everything we know about biology, Beish stated. But one thing is certain, his intelligence and ability to overcome challenges we couldn't yet explain. The encounters between J-Rod and the scientists at Area 51 were not merely about health or biological studies. J-Rod had a direct hand in helping the U.S. government reverse engineer the extraterrestrial technology brought by the UFO. Engineers and scientists at Area 51 approached and studied the technology, believing it belonged to J-Rod and his team. The advanced techniques J-Rod shared may have played a crucial role in accelerating the development of aviation technologies, long-range radar, and even the technologies we still use today. Area 51 is not just a place that stores UFOs. It is also a location where extraterrestrial beings may have assisted us in advancing technology. These stories, though not fully verified, continue to spark curiosity and raise significant questions about the existence of civilizations beyond Earth. Has extraterrestrial technology truly been studied and applied in military fields? And could we, the people living on Earth, be part of a silent yet powerful communication between alien civilizations and the U.S. government? As we dig deeper into the secrets of Area 51, one of the most notable figures in this story is J-Rod, an extraterrestrial who survived the UFO crash near Kingman, Arizona. Surely we can't help but ask ourselves, did J-Rod really exist? And if so, what role did this being play in humanity's development over the decades? These questions are not easy to answer, but with the evidence and testimonies from witnesses, the truth about J-Rod slowly unfolds. After the UFO crashed near Kingman in 1953, U.S. military officials discovered an extraterrestrial being who survived the crash, named J-Rod. J-Rod had a humanoid appearance with large eyes and distinct skin, but lacked the strange features often seen in science fiction films. Bill Uhouse, a former Navy pilot and employee at Area 51, was one of the first to encounter J-Rod. Uhouse described J-Rod as an exceptionally intelligent being with the ability to communicate naturally and intelligently. Dan Beish, a microbiologist at Area 51, also confirmed that he had cared for J-Rod in a special underground room, noting J-Rod's intelligence and his ability to overcome challenges that we still cannot explain. The encounters between J-Rod and scientists at Area 51 were not just about biological research, but also involved helping the U.S. government reverse engineer the extraterrestrial technology brought by the UFO. Technologies like aircraft, long-range radar, and supermaterials may have been developed with the assistance of J-Rod and his team. Although not confirmed, the question remains, could the technology we use today have originated from extraterrestrial assistance? The relationship between J-Rod and the U.S. government remains a mystery, raising questions about the true purpose of the communication between humanity and these superior civilizations. With each step deeper into the mysteries of Area 51, we move closer to understanding extraterrestrial beings and their connection to humanity. But are we truly ready to face the truth about our relationship with beings from distant stars? When we reflect on the relationship between the U.S. government and extraterrestrials, one big question arises. Did the U.S. government actually cooperate with extraterrestrial beings since the 1950s to develop technology? While the answer is far from clear, the strange events and secret meetings we explore here may provide clues to a deep secret that remains unsolved. A prominent example is Valiant Thor, an extraterrestrial ambassador who is believed to have met with President Eisenhower in 1957. Thor, appearing in human form and carrying a message of peace, warned about the dangers of nuclear weapons. Though this story remains unverified, many believe it is a clear example of extraterrestrial influence on U.S. policy. The secret meetings between U.S. leaders and extraterrestrials didn't stop with Thor. In the 1950s and 1960s, several reports surfaced about encounters at military facilities, especially at Area 51. where discussions about technology and weaponry took place. One common theory is that extraterrestrials didn't just offer advice on peace, but also shared technology with the US. This technology may include advanced weaponry, super durable materials, and space communication systems. Although no concrete evidence has emerged, we cannot help but wonder if extraterrestrial help accelerated technological development in the 20th century. The relationship between the US government and extraterrestrials remains a major mystery, continuing to spark curiosity and inviting us to dig deeper into what truly happened at Washington, D.C. and Area 51. Will we ever uncover the full truth about these encounters in the future? For centuries, humanity has gazed at the sky, searching for life among the distant stars, believing that if extraterrestrial beings exist, they must be living somewhere beyond the vast universe. But what if they were never that far away? What if our very own Earth, the planet we inhabit, is concealing a massive secret beneath our feet? An increasing body of evidence from unusual seismic phenomena, strange signals emanating from the Earth's core, to leaked classified documents has surfaced, suggesting that extraterrestrials might be living deep within the Earth itself. This is not merely the hollow Earth theory once dismissed as fanciful. It has become a question that has left the scientific community bewildered, governments silent, and independent researchers threatened. Are we truly the sole inhabitants of this planet? Follow through to the end of this video as we explore the controversial evidence, hidden clues, and ask ourselves, could there be others living alongside us, just beneath our feet? Contrary to the modern scientific depiction of a solid molten core, the hollow Earth hypothesis offers an entirely different perspective, one in which the innermost part of our planet may not only be hollow, but could be hiding an entirely different world. Since the 17th century, Edmund Halley, the renowned astronomer after whom Halley's Comet was named, proposed a bold hypothesis that the Earth is not solid, but composed of multiple concentric shells rotating at different speeds, and that life could exist within. Not long after, the brilliant mathematician Leonhard Euler took it a step further. He suggested that giant holes existed at the Earth's poles, leading directly to an inner world illuminated by an artificial sun, a hidden ecosystem evolving independently from the surface world. Though once deemed ludicrous, these ideas have gradually gained attention as a series of anomalies, from strange geomagnetic tremors, mysterious radio signals emanating from underground, to unexplained aircraft disappearances near the North Pole, continue to defy conventional science. Could it be that ancient scientists knew something that modern humanity has yet to rediscover? There was a tone of fear in his voice, sudden gasps, stammering, and stifled screams. Then came the sound of utter terror, a grown man losing control, sobbing and gasping like a child trapped in a living nightmare. That unimaginable sound of horror was captured by a psychiatrist who hypnotized a man named Barney Hill in his office one day in 1964. Hill was a World War II veteran, a large man with an IQ of 140, but when the psychiatrist asked him to relive a fateful night from 3 years prior, Hill broke down in uncontrollable tears. He recounted that he and his wife Betty were followed by a mysterious light on a secluded mountain highway in New Hampshire and abducted by humanoid beings in a UFO, who subjected them to medical examinations. After being missing for 24 hours, they returned with evidence that defied explanation. It was September 19, 1961. After a trip to Niagara Falls, Betty and Barney Hill were driving back to Portsmouth, New Hampshire in their Chevrolet when both suddenly saw an oval-shaped object hovering in the sky. And before they could react, the strange object suddenly descended onto the road. According to Hill's description, they were tall, with large bald heads, pronounced cheekbones, and sunken temples. Their eyes were quite large, and their necks were long with muscle strands stretching to their collarbones. They wore no clothes. Their skin was smooth and grayish blue. When they got close, they opened our car door and pulled me and Betty onto their spacecraft. From that moment, I remember nothing. Betty and Barney Hill were released the next morning at the exact location where they had been abducted, and the story stirred up controversy not only in the United States, but around the world. Most people believed they fabricated the story for fame. Hill's clothes were torn during the aliens' skeletal examination, and no one could explain why both Betty and Hill experienced significantly reduced heart rate and blood pressure for nearly 2 weeks before returning to normal. Furthermore, a pink powdery substance was found on Betty's dress. Upon analysis, chemists concluded that it contained no organic compounds, and its inorganic components had never been identified on Earth. Amid the growing number of reports related to UFO and UAP sightings, on July 26, 2023, in Washington, D.C., the House Oversight Committee held a hearing on Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena, UAP, National Security, and U.S. Foreign Affairs. A key witness at the congressional hearing was David Fravor, a former pilot and intelligence officer at the Pentagon. David Fravor, a veteran U.S. Navy pilot, was flying an F/A-18F Super Hornet off the coast of Southern California on November 14, 2004, when he encountered a white object shaped like a Tic Tac mint. No wings, no exhaust, no visible propulsion system of any kind. Yet it moved in ways that defied all known laws of physics. The object not only hovered mid-air, but also dove into the ocean and shot back up into the sky in a blink at speeds and maneuverability far beyond any known human aviation technology. Even more notably, the entire event was not merely anecdotal. It was captured on radar and infrared video, footage later confirmed by the Pentagon as an unexplained phenomenon. Roosh was a member of the Pentagon's UAP task force from 2019 to 2021. However, he was denied access and later became a whistleblower filing an official complaint. Regarding extraterrestrial life, David Grush claimed it is possible that the United States has been aware of non-human activity within Earth's core since the 1930. Shortly after the U.S. congressional UFO hearing in July 2023, Mexico's Congress held its own UFO hearing in September. Before the lawmakers, 2 alleged extraterrestrial corpses were displayed, accompanied by the claim of a self-proclaimed UFO researcher that this was the first time extraterrestrial life had been found in such a form. Data was presented, some information was verified and made public, but what is the truth? The story doesn't stop at pilot reports or remote sightings. Conspiracy theories about government involvement make the truth even murkier and harder to believe. Numerous witnesses, former employees of geological, defense, or space research organizations, have come forward to share what they've seen. Yet after speaking out, many were swiftly suspended from their jobs or silenced by powerful forces. Are they telling the truth? Or are they merely pawns in a greater power play? One of the most notable figures in this story is Paul Hellyer, former Canadian Minister of Defense. In his final years, he publicly stated that major world governments were fully aware of extraterrestrials living in Earth's core and had maintained relations with them for a long time. These claims, he said, were not absurd, but highly classified information, carefully guarded and concealed. Hellyer went even further, claiming that at least 4 alien species are in contact with humanity, some of which may be living right here on Earth, possibly underground or even beneath the oceans. He asserted that extraterrestrial civilizations were not a distant concept, but had always coexisted alongside us, we just weren't aware. What made Hellyer especially noteworthy was that he was one of the few high-ranking politicians to address the issue seriously, without sensationalism or ridicule. His statements prompted reflection. Could there really be a story of aliens living within Earth's core that has been concealed for centuries? Could it be that the world's major governments are guarding secrets they don't want the public to know? And if so, are these secrets tied to extraterrestrial beings residing in hidden regions such as underground or deep beneath the sea? Is there truly evidence that aliens live within the Earth's core? The answer may lie in secrets yet to be uncovered. Imagine a hunter waking up in a dark forest. Around him is absolute silence, but inside he is filled with anxiety. He listens intently to the sounds from afar, wondering if anyone is nearby. Suddenly a thought flashes through his mind. Should I call out to find others? But he quickly stops himself. He realizes that in this forest, every creature is a threat. If he speaks, he doesn't know whether the other will be a friend or an enemy. And if the other is an enemy, one call could mean his immediate destruction. This story is not just an adventure in a forest, it's a metaphor for existence in the universe. Every alien civilization could be a hunter in a dark forest, always hiding and living in fear that any signal they send out could lead to their destruction. So, why do we fear the existence of extraterrestrial civilizations? The answer might be simple. Every civilization needs resources and living space. As a civilization advances, it must compete for these things. Throughout human history, we've witnessed the constant competition between nations and civilizations for power and resources. And in an infinite space like the universe, this competition could become more dangerous than ever before. Alien civilizations may not be all that different from us. They too need energy, resources, and living space. This means they could see us as a threat. Imagine, if we were to detect signs of extraterrestrial life and they notice our existence, would they perceive us as a threat and act immediately? Much like how humans have treated wild animals when we perceive them as a challenge to our resources, we don't hesitate to eliminate them to protect ourselves. Thus, the dark forest hypothesis isn't just science fiction, it's a sobering warning about the dangers of communicating with alien civilizations. It's a world where we may have to accept the harsh truth that our existence in the universe might not be welcomed and could instead be seen as a threat that needs to be eradicated. And if there's one thing we can learn from the dark forest hypothesis, it's this: caution and secrecy might be the only way to survive in a universe filled with danger. Throughout humanity's long journey, we've constantly asked ourselves about the vast universe and extraterrestrial life. Could we one day receive a signal from distant civilizations in space? And if that signal comes, will it bring connection or a sign of destruction? Will we meet cosmic friends or potential enemies, those who may view us as a threat that must be wiped out? Imagine a moment you'll never forget. An alien civilization, having evolved over countless centuries, has developed technology beyond anything we can imagine. And instead of peaceful signals from friendly beings, they send a simple message: we are coming. But beware, because they may not come with peaceful intentions. The science fiction hypothesis suggests that these civilizations could possess destructive technology beyond our imagination. Relativistic kill vehicles, RKV, missiles capable of striking a planet at nearly the speed of light. With just one shot, Earth could be reduced to ashes with no time to react. In this world, life doesn't just exist to survive, it exists to protect itself. Alien civilizations, like humans, may have developed powerful weapons of mass destruction to safeguard their resources and living space. They might see life on Earth and view us as a threat, much like how humans have dealt with wild animals, eliminating anything that might compete for resources. Imagine, with a lightning-fast strike from deep space, this civilization could wipe out a planet in the blink of an eye, and then no trace remains. No life, just an endless void that no one can see. Could this be Earth's fate if a powerful civilization discovers us? The real-world data cannot ignore this danger. According to the theory of evolution, all life forms, whether on Earth or in space, must develop powerful survival mechanisms. In a universe with limited resources, civilizations may not hesitate to destroy one another to protect themselves. Have done this throughout history when seizing power. Could alien civilizations have similar motives? So, when a signal from a civilization arrives, will it be a peaceful invitation or the beginning of an intergalactic invasion? Are we prepared to face an enemy capable of easily erasing Earth from existence? The universe is not just an endless space filled with mysteries, it is also a place teeming with cosmic predators, where every civilization must struggle to survive. When another civilization discovers us, will we be allies or a threat that must be eradicated? The answer lies in our evolution and our ability to survive. Scientists have pointed out that technological development not only brings progress but also comes with unforeseen risks. We don't know everything about the universe, about extraterrestrial civilizations, and life that may exist in forms completely different from our own. Technological advances will help us understand more about space, but they also make us vulnerable, potentially turning us into easy targets for more advanced civilizations with technologies and weapons far beyond our own. However, one undeniable truth is that humanity cannot stop exploring. Studying the universe opens up opportunities to better understand ourselves, the world around us, and the risks and opportunities that communication with extraterrestrial beings might bring. We need to continue advancing technology, not only for exploration but also for self-preservation. When that day comes, if communication with an alien civilization becomes a reality, we won't just be passive players in the universe, we will be active, ready to face whatever challenges come our way. The universe is vast and filled with mysteries yet to be unraveled. Humanity has made great strides in the journey to explore space, but there is still so much we don't know. One day we may discover signs of an alien civilization, but what will we do when faced with them? Will we integrate and become allies, or will we face an invasion from beings we cannot even comprehend? The answer may lie in our continuous exploration, a process that demands patience, caution, and sometimes silence to prepare for the next steps in an ever enigmatic universe. The universe, with its endless vastness, has always been one of humanity's greatest mysteries, a mystery we yearn to explore. Billions of light years stretch between galaxies, millions of planets may harbor life, and a vast expanse with billions of stars. This all leads us to one pressing question. Why have we never encountered any extraterrestrial life? Is this universe truly empty, or is it simply that we don't know how to search, that we lack the technology to detect signs of life? This is where our exploration begins. Our solar system is just a grain of sand on an endless beach of the universe. We are only beginning to understand the space around us, but even as we look further, the data forces us to pause and reflect. Our solar system is but one of hundreds of billions of star systems in the Milky Way, which is just one of billions of galaxies in the universe. To grasp the sheer scale of the universe, we must face an almost unbelievable reality. Every signal, no matter how small, must travel through a vast expanse and traverse millions of light years. While projects like SETI have been underway for decades, aimed at detecting radio signals from alien civilizations, we still haven't received any clear signals. Telescopes, satellites, and advanced technologies continuously detect strange signals from space, but they aren't strong enough to prove the existence of extraterrestrial life. So the big question remains, why can't we find life? Is the universe too vast for us to fully understand, or is there something we simply cannot decode? Despite knowing that the universe is so vast that a single beam of light from Earth takes millions of years to reach distant star systems, still, all we hear is absolute silence. The universe, full of unimaginable possibilities, is an enigmatic playing field where each star is a beacon of hope for alien life. But why, despite our advancements that have allowed us to send spacecraft beyond our planet, are we still unable to detect any signs suggesting we are not the only beings in this vast universe? Perhaps we are in a universe full of civilizations that have hidden themselves, waiting for the right moment to interact with us. Or perhaps we are just alone in this immense void. If aliens once lived on Earth right here, millions of years ago, would we even recognize it? We often look up at the sky, searching for signals of extraterrestrial life among the countless stars. But perhaps what we're really searching for is buried deep beneath our feet, hidden within the flow of time, not space. Over the course of Earth's 4 billion-year history, modern humans have only appeared for the briefest moment. So, in the vast expanse of time that stretches before us, could there have been another civilization, intelligent, technologically advanced, perhaps once dominant, that existed and then disappeared without a trace? This isn't just speculation. Science calls it the Silurian hypothesis, a serious question. If a civilization existed before us, where are their traces today? We are about to embark on a journey not out into the universe, but backward into the past of Earth itself. And the answer, if it exists, could completely change the way we understand ourselves. Earth formed around 4.5 billion years ago, and simple life emerged not long after. But it wasn't until about 540 million years ago, during the Cambrian explosion, that multicellular organisms truly began to flourish. By this time, Earth had already undergone millions of years of geological upheaval, with a rapidly changing climate and an atmosphere transitioning from lacking oxygen to one capable of supporting life. In the beginning, life on Earth was simple, single-celled organisms, isolated cells that were almost invisible in the vast expanse of the universe. These creatures lived in the primordial oceans, breathing in carbon dioxide and reproducing in harsh conditions. Though not complex, the appearance of these single-celled organisms was the first step in a chain of events that would lead to the development of all forms of life we know today. However, it was the Cambrian period that marked a true leap in the evolution of life, a dramatic and surprising development. This was the time of the Cambrian explosion, when multicellular organisms rapidly thrived and most major animal groups, from vertebrates to complex invertebrates, began to emerge. It was the moment when biodiversity on Earth exploded at an astonishing rate. In just a few million years, our planet witnessed the rise of numerous complex life forms with entirely new body structures and functions. The appearance of hard shells, complex eyes, and the ability to move quickly marked a pivotal moment in animal evolution. This not only signaled a new era for life on Earth, but also the beginning of the first survival battles as species competed for dwindling resources. But here's the strange part. The Cambrian explosion also created a black hole in the history of life's development. The traces of life from this period are so sparse that we still can't fully grasp the speed and diversity of this evolutionary leap. But what if, before this explosion of life, there had been intelligent life forms on Earth? In that vast stretch of time, modern humans, Homo sapiens, only stepped onto the stage about 300,000 years ago. While we now stand at the top of the evolutionary chain, the truth is, we are mere newcomers in the history of Earth. The development of humans can be broken down into 3 stages. 97% of our history, our ancestors lived scattered, wandering as hunter-gatherers, leaving behind no cities or temples. The next 2.9%, about 10,000 years ago, humans entered the agricultural era, settling down, building villages, and creating organized societies. Only the last 0.1%, about 300 years ago, we exploded into industrialization, leaving a profound mark on the planet. It sounds grand, but in the vast flow of geological time, even humanity's greatest achievements are nothing more than a thin layer of dust on a page full of dense epochs. Layers of ancient soil, kilometers deep, have buried volcanoes, oceans, and entire continents. So if another civilization once existed hundreds of millions of years before us, it's not hard to imagine them being completely wiped out. Ask yourself, could the traces of a civilization, not ours, have survived hundreds of millions of years of weathering, drifting continents, and geological shifts? They could have been here, but if they were, time has cleaned up every trace of them so perfectly that we believe ourselves to be the first. In the past few million years, Earth was home to many species of hominins, our close relatives such as Homo erectus, Neanderthals, and Denisovans. They knew how to use fire, made tools, painted in caves, and may have had early forms of language. Despite their intelligence and widespread presence, most of their traces have disappeared almost entirely. So what if a species of indigenous aliens existed during this time? One that knew how to make tools, communicate, and had culture and intellect, but never crossed the threshold into advanced technology. They too could have been wiped from the memory of the planet just as Homo habilis disappeared. The question isn't whether they existed or not, but rather, could we recognize them if they had existed? And the answer might very well be no. But there's nothing, no bricks, no walls, just the deep, unbroken silence beneath the earth. This is where imagination blends with science, and where all possibilities become worth pondering. Imagine a civilization not of humans, but of another species, perhaps bipedal reptiles or even a form of evolved octopus living in ancient swamps. They may have built cities from wood and stone, used color to communicate, and lived in a stable, long-lasting society, but they never entered the industrial era. Then a meteorite, a pole shift, a supervolcano, or a global ice age sweeps through and everything vanishes. Rotting wood, shattered stone, language disappears. Time doesn't need war to destroy a civilization. It just needs enough time to turn everything back into dust. And so, the possibility that an ancient civilization once existed is not a question of imagination, it's a question, how well has time done its work? Let's suppose humanity goes extinct tomorrow. A few million years from now, will Earth remember us? Since the Industrial Revolution just 300 years ago, a blink of an eye in geological time, humanity has left an enormous mark on the planet. But will that mark really last? We've filled the oceans with plastic, altered the global nitrogen cycle with artificial fertilizers, and left permanent traces of radioactive elements in the earth, things that didn't exist in nature before we arrived. We've drilled deep into the Earth's crust for metals, so rare they could be used as the chemical fingerprints of a civilization. We've burned billions of tons of fossil fuels, changed the composition of the atmosphere, and raised CO2 levels to heights unseen in millions of years. The echoes of this could be imprinted in the geological record like a chemical scar lasting for hundreds of millions of years. And one day, if it all disappears, skyscrapers will collapse, streets will be buried, machines will rot away, but some traces might still remain, quietly lying at the bottom of the ocean, in the chemical layers of the earth, or within strange sedimentary deposits. Here's the paradox. If an ancient industrial civilization once existed, but was smart enough to live in harmony with the environment, they may have left nothing for us to recognize. No plastic pollution, no radioactivity, no climate destruction. A civilization that knew how to recycle, didn't deforest, didn't alter ecosystems. Because of this idealism, they would vanish in silence, leaving no goodbyes, no lingering doubts. So if there ever was an industrial civilization before us, would we even recognize it? Even if they existed for hundreds of thousands of years, far longer than we have, any remaining signs today could be too faint to distinguish from nature. A few strange elements, an unusual layer of sediment, and modern humans would just look at them, shrug, and say, "Must be from a volcano." And so perhaps we are walking on the very stones of ancient cities. Cities that once belonged to a world that modern science has never even dreamed of. What's truly terrifying isn't that we haven't found an ancient extraterrestrial civilization. It's this: we may be standing right in the middle of their ruins, and we have no idea. After all the hypotheses, data, and grounded imagination, we return to one simple truth. No evidence doesn't mean no existence. In a planet that has existed for over 4 billion years, the history we understand is like a grain of sand on the beach of time. We don't know whether any civilization ever existed before us, but what we do know for sure is this: if we're not careful, our own civilization could vanish quickly, quietly, and be forgotten as if it had never existed. Maybe millions of years from now, a new intelligent species will walk the land where New York, Cairo, or Beijing once stood, and wonder if anyone ever lived here. They may never know of us, just as we have never discovered those who came before us. And perhaps the question won't be, did anyone ever live here, but rather, what will we leave behind when we are gone?